You've seen the trenches from a safe distance. This is the view armies hid from you. In the next minutes, we'll move through 10 images that shift cowardice into collapse, duty into damage, and loyalty into punishment. Each frame asks one hard question: who was the real enemy? Stay to the end for the photo that military censors dreaded. Proof that the machine didn't just grind the opposing side. It ground its own. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Number 1. Rotting boots, rotting flesh. A boot comes away with skin. That's the clue. Trench foot grew in cold water, tight boots, and hours without movement. Blood flow slowed, nerves dulled, and the flesh turned waxy, then black. Gangrene followed. The photos of trench foot and gangrene victims are quiet, but they show loss in stages. Orders said, "Stand to at dawn." Men then stood in water all day. Prevention meant dry socks, whale oil, and duckboards, but flooded dugouts and night patrols erased good plans. Medics ran foot parades, checked toes, swapped socks, and logged damage. Duckboards lifted souls above the muck, yet winter sectors drowned them. Early years saw the worst before rotations, and better kit cut the rate. Medical notes urged frequent sock changes and boot swaps. Many cases still ended at the surgeon's table. From feet eaten by water, we moved to faces burned by air. Number 2. Breathing burns. Eyes filmed white, masks pulled too late. The face says more than the report. These are the faces of soldiers after gas attacks. Each one a lesson in seconds lost. Early clouds rode the wind, slow and visible, like a curtain crossing a stage. Shells later hid the toxins, so breath turned deadly before men knew it. Chlorine burned fast. Phosgene killed slow with fluid in the lungs. Mustard clung to skin, eyes, and airway, leaving blisters and long, raw pain. Cloth pads gave way to full respirators. Drills sped up, but fit still failed with stubble, sweat, or a broken strap. Masks fogged. Vision narrowed. A missed seal meant injury. The iconic line appears. Men led blind, hand to shoulder, still alive yet marked. Breath became a weapon, and the body lagged behind the device. If gas scarred faces, the mind soon carried its own scars. Number 3. When nerves give way. A soldier shakes before the camera. He isn't acting. He can't stop. This is shell shock on the front line, known today as trauma, then argued as weakness. Tremor, mute stare, legs that refuse to move. The body says what words won't. Bombardment ran day and night. Sleep thinned to minutes. Night work, random shells, and constant dread primed a break. Convalescent wards tried rest cures, hypnosis, and simple routines, like a small stage where noise was lowered and order returned. Some officers called it cowardice and leaned on discipline. Others saw injury and wrote it down. Early notes linked symptoms to trauma. Rotation plans promised relief but often arrived late. The hands settled, the file closed, and many went back. The disturbing truth sits there. Minds failed on a schedule the Army couldn't shift. Bodies piled where minds and orders met. Between the lines. Number 4. Ground that refused the living. No man's land looks still in photos. Stillness hides a harvest. The frame shows rows of dark shapes, spaced like a map of failure. Each assault asked men to cross open mud under machine guns. Command wanted ground, but the ground took men. Rescue waited for dark. Markers vanished in fresh craters, so paths blurred and search lines broke. Creeping barrages set a clock. Wire gaps missed by yards left units stalled. A lift came too soon or too late, and timing errors stacked into bodies. Rain and shelling made suction pits that held boots and then whole men. Retrieval teams moved at night to dodge fire and glare. Casualties spiked when lifts failed and phones went dead. Tags tore free, stuck in coats, or sank in slime. This moonscape isn't chaos. It charts a plan that froze on wet earth. Where the field would not give, The spade did. Number 5. The trench became a tomb. Rows of helmets rest on the trench lip. Below, a common grave waits for the last spade. This image captures a task as old as war, but sped up by shells and orders. Burial parties worked between barrages. Chaplains spoke brief words, then moved on. The line had to clear before the next push, so men lowered bodies fast, side by side, rank by rank. Markers failed in shell zones. A cross stood at dawn and vanished by noon. Later, cemetery units returned to exhume and identify. Personal items and tags guided hands, but mud lied. Tags shifted pockets, letters slipped away. A watch or ring misled a record, and one name drifted to another grave. The haunting detail is simple. Mixed units, hurried rites, names lost to mud. The archive of the dead stood on guesswork and grit. Some who lived needed a new face to rejoin the world. Number 6. Masks for the living. A man faces the lens with a tin smile. It isn't joy, it's a plate. Soldiers wearing crude facial prosthetics stand like exhibits, each mask a stopgap where flesh was gone. Shrapnel and snipers tore noses, jaws, and cheeks. Surgery lagged. Artists stepped in with painted metal and leather, built to sit on wire or a strap. Early plastic surgery tried flaps and grafts. Dental frames held a jawline so a mask could rest. Sculpted plates took cues from pre-war photos, matched to skin tone, eyebrow shape, and even a mustache, as if dressing a shop window. The goal was social. Let a man walk a street. Surgeons and artists worked side by side, trading sketches for stitches. Function stayed limited while appearance led. The photo shocks, but the craft aimed at dignity. The mask was mercy where medicine fell short. Not only men bore wounds, the Army's engines did too. Number 7. Fields of iron and bone. A dead horse lies beside a twisted gun carriage. The other workforce is spent. This image captures a supply chain on the ground, where muscle met steel and both failed under fire. Animals hauled guns, food, and men. Shells hit lines as often as trenches, so teams fell mid-task. Recovery crews worked under bursts, triaging beasts, pulling harness, and clearing routes to keep wagons moving. Roads churned to mud and ruts. Carcasses fouled water near trenches, drew flies, and spread sickness. Veterinary stations patched what they could. Euthanasia ended pain when legs snapped. Salvage teams stripped leather, metal, and feed, then marked the spot for later burial. Destroyed fields slowed every mile. Bogged wheels trapped wounded and stalled rations. The photo indicts the machine as an ecosystem. Kill the animal and the front starves. Cruelty spread beyond uniforms. And yet, some uniforms were small. Too small. Number 8. Uniforms that didn't fit childhood. A boy in puttees grins at the camera. The rifle is longer than his arm. The uniform fits like a costume, but the boots say orders will follow. Age limits sat on paper. Desperation rubbed them thin. Some youths lied at the table. Some were waved through by a nod. Others joined bands, then carried stretchers, then rifles. Recruiters ran drives with flags and brass. Proof of age slipped when births lacked records or clerks lacked time. Pay, pride, and escape pulled hard. Training depots saw small frames in big coats. Casualty lists later exposed dates that didn't match. Reports sparked policy crackdowns, stricter checks, and sudden returns home. Risks rose once deployed. Fatigue, shock, and a body still growing put boys at the back of any line. The photo's charm turned sour. The state put boys in a man's line. Exploitation dressed as duty. When minds broke or feet failed, punishment followed. Number 9. Firing squads at dawn. A blindfold, a chair, a chalked post. No enemy in sight. Only comrades with rifles. Executions for desertion sit like a courtroom moved outdoors, with the verdict nailed to a stake. Field General courts-martial ran fast. Charges read, witnesses brief, sentence fixed. Counsel was thin or absent, and the clock beat mercy. Under strain, some commands used exemplary punishment to stiffen lines, as if discipline could be staged like a warning sign. Appeals rarely paused the march of orders, while context, shock, exhaustion, wounds, barely entered the script. Later reviews told a different story. Pardon lists grew as trauma gained a name, and records quietly admitted what the frame suggested. Censorship hid such scenes from papers, so the public saw heroics, not the inward aim. The most disturbing frame is simple. The army turns its rifles inward. Beyond the trenches, civilians paid a quieter price. Number 10. Hunger without shells. A woman's cheekbones cut like blades. A child tightens a belt to quiet the ache. This image captures a home-turned ration line. Naval blockades and scorched fields hit kitchens first. Ration books replaced meals. Pots held less each week, and empty plates invited sickness. Strategy starved imports, stripped seed and pinched fuel, so ovens went cold and pantries thinned. Queues formed at dawn. Shops sold ersatz bread, thin coffee, and stretched fats. Markets shifted to cash under the counter, where prices rose with fear. Calorie drops bent backs and slowed steps. Hospitals saw malnutrition rise. Infants failed in winter when heat and fresh food ran out. Relief lagged behind need, while posters promised plenty and masked the scale. The famine image belongs in a war album. Strategy that starves civilians widens the moral fault line. The album closes where it began, with systems grinding what they claimed to guard. History keeps its receipts. We decide whether to read them or file them away with the censored prints, where silence does the erasing.